Street Fighter 6 has been a huge release in the world of fighting games this year. With record-shattering numbers at Evolution 2023 and over $2 million in prizing for the Capcom Pro Tour, we figured we should cover some of the best highlights of the game before Capcom Cup 2023. So I'm going to be listing my most exciting matches of Street Fighter 6 so far. If you think my list makes sense, or if you have a disagreement and I missed something you want me to check out, let me know in the comments down below. And with all that being said, I'm Sajam for EvoFGC, and these are my top 6 Street Fighter 6 moments so far. Coming in at number 6, we've got Punk vs. Kaba at CEO 2023. To start things off, this is right after the game came out, so a lot of things were unknown, a lot of things were underexplored, and people were just hungry for any offline action that they could get.
This is like what's going to set the tone, what's going to set the temperature, if you will, moving forward here in this Street Fighter 6 season.
Even though the set was pretty lopsided in Kaba's favor in the beginning, a lot of people were really excited. He was demonstrating some new guile tech that no one had seen before by just throwing Sonic Boom, and then whenever Cammy would spin knuckle through it, he would just perfect parry in the recovery and get a punish of his own. At the time, this was something super new that nobody had ever seen before, so tuning in the first time and seeing it was really exciting.
Wow! Gotta shake that off.
Despite his rough start, Punk really battled back and brought things down to a final game, final round scenario.
One more throw, do it?
No! Absolutely not.
And we are going to a final round.
Punk put himself in burnout, and the match was super close. Despite that, Kaba had a really smart idea to try to force a chip scenario with flash kick, and the rest was history.
How dare you!
Bro, I just want to say, did you see how Kaba tried to make him mess up the parry on the Sonic Boom by doing the late drive rush after the boom just in front of him?
Oh my God.
These guys are doing so much, and this game's been out 3 weeks.
I mean, this skill issue sign, this is pretty good too.
It's never a skill issue. Piece of God.
Coming in at number 5, we have Mena vs. Tokido at EVO 2023. Before this match even began, we had one of the most exciting moments of the game's life so far with this wicked stare down between Mena and Tokido. These two have a long-time rivalry in Street Fighter, including a Capcom Cup finals way back in 2017 where Mena got his first championship. So to see these two stare each other down right at the beginning of Street Fighter 6 is a really awesome moment.
Oh my.
Yo, somebody give me a picture of that. I'm putting that on my wall.
So after their Ryu and Akuma-esque stare down that these two had, the set began, and Mena showed off some really strong stuff with his Blanca.
Nice, the level 1 for the pickup on that.
This character hasn't been super strong in a Street Fighter game for honestly quite a long time, so to see him on the EVO stage was really exciting. He has cool tricks, he's got a lot of damage, and honestly, just a lot of the stuff that he was doing is really solid.
You can do that?
I did not know that.
I didn't either.
Mena's play had Tokido down 2-1, and with the level 2 install activated, things were looking pretty dire for Tokido. That's when he let the old faithful rip and did a wake up level 3 into a huge comeback, forcing us to a final game.
The hit has level 1 here. The Jinrai whips, he gets the throw 2 apiece. You see that little smile on Tokido's face?
In this final game, final round scenario, both of them are in burnout with very little life to work.
Or he gets the up ball there. He's got level 1 also, both in burnout here.
With both players so low on life, Mena activates level 2, goes in for some pressure, and Tokido lets the drive impact rip, leading to a really wild scramble.
It's an RD! He takes out Tokido in loser semis.
Watching these two compete in Street Fighter 5 and now Street Fighter 6 has been so fun, and this is a rivalry I hope we get to see throughout this game's lifespan. Match number 4, Angry Bird versus Big Bird at Red Bull Kumite. This Battle of the Birds is one of the most explosive matches on this list, and also really early in the game's lifespan. At the time, a lot of people really weren't sure about the strength of Marissa, and even Big Bird himself was kind of unsure about how powerful she would be in a tournament setting. He showed up and just showed her might in a really, really impressive performance.
Oh, good God, he pressed
Despite all the strong contenders in Red Bull Kumite this year, a lot of people heralded this first round match as maybe the most exciting, true finals of the event.
Oh my God! There is no way!
These two have a ton of experience against each other, and you can tell watching it. It was game for game, round for round, all the way down to a tied set at 4-4 in the final game. Big Bird had a slight drop in this last round that gave Angry Bird a big chance to confirm into level 3 and a huge opportunity to close out the set. But when in doubt, you gotta mash that level 3 out. And Big Bird lets it rip to not only win this game, but then end up winning the tournament later on with a really impressive performance that I think put a lot of eyes on Marissa very early into the game's life.
Red Bull Kumite 2023 South Africa champion, Big Bird!
Number 3, Tokido versus Shudo. By the time Evo rolled around, a lot of people knew Marissa was a scary character. Even more so, people were terrified of the idea of modern Marissa, which Shudo was pioneering at the time. Shudo's reactions, both modern and otherwise, were really tough for Tokido to deal with, and his relentless control of the mid-range made Tokido's opportunities really have to matter.
That was like that? That looks like that was $1 million, right? That was $1 million.
Oh yeah, damn, he stretched after 2.
This relentlessness put Tokido down to a pixel of life in the final game between these two. Because he had to get crafty, Tokido found a really smart choice with a wake-up crouching medium kick, but he didn't quite build the meter for level 3. What he did after was even flashier, and honestly, was one of the most exciting parts of the entire event.
Tokido staying alive in winner's bracket.
Look at yo, Tokido just walked up like, well, you just ain't watch it, don't.
Coming in at number 2, we have Kakadu versus Angry Bird at Gamers 8. These two had a nail-biter of a match a week before over at EVO, and Kakadu wanted revenge. And I have to think, about all of the moments so far in Street Fighter, this is maybe the most defining thing I can think of as an example of why people think Perfect Parry is just so strong. He showed up and perfect parried over 30 times in the grand final against Angry Bird, and he looked more robot than human. People were so impressed and astounded at what happened that they stopped calling perfect parries and just called them the Kakadu, which he mentioned at Singapore he thought was really cool, and he loves the meme, so keep it up. And instead of going over all the details and talking about it too much and being a nerd, here's a cool montage of all of his perfect parries.
Standing media uppercut, that could have been huge. Oh, a handful of normals now. Oh, the amnesia, can he do it? If Kakadu gets the hit, Kakadu is slowly starting to make his bars. Angry Bird, and the portal comes out. Getting a little antsy with a needed lead by Jack. No. And counter hitting him. The block, the drive rush is there, but still, how is the perfect parry? How did he is ready.
Coming in at number 1, we have Evolution Grand Finals, Angry Bird versus Mena. After over 7,000 entrants played in the tournament, it came down to these two. And the crowd, energy, and atmosphere at EVO was unbelievable. There was a sea of Street Fighter fans cheering these two on as they fought in the very first grand finals of the CPT Offline premiere event, but also Evolution's first go at Street Fighter 6.
What a shot. Man, that is beautiful.
Angry Bird has such relentless offense and energy and movement that Mena had to craftily deal with while balancing between both his Luke and Blanca, something that's very hard to do at a high level, and he was juggling them in EVO Grand Finals. Mena reset the bracket with his extremely impressive play, and it set up for a really sweet moment in the Grand Final.
We've got a reset!
There was a slight controller malfunction that happened between these two, but there were warriors who were trying to battle it out, and they didn't care what happened. They were cool with playing it on as the crowd erupted with cheer.
What are we doing? We're going to continue?
They're playing.
I love it. That's respect. That's a throwback.
After a long set between these two, Angry Bird clutched it out to become the very first Evolution champion for Street Fighter 6, and the emotions and energy were incredible. And with these two both qualified again for Capcom Cup, I hope they get another chance to play there, and I hope we get to see them again on the EVO stage.
Everybody in the building, make some noise for your EVO champion, Angry Bird.
That wraps it up for our top 6 matches of Street Fighter 6 so far. If we missed yours, make sure to drop it in the comment section down below, or if any of those matches just brought up awesome memories you want to share, please drop them down there. Street Fighter 6 has only been out for about half a year, and with EVO Japan and Capcom Cup coming up, I'm sure there'll be lots of incredible matches soon to come. Hopefully you enjoyed this list, and if you did and you want to check out more countdowns, check out EvoFGC's last list on the top moments from EVO 2023. So thanks to the lovely folks at EVO for having me on, and drop a comment down below to let us know what you want to see next. Thanks gamers, and see you next time.